And so in the course of doing the job that we do, you find that just not enough soundproofing because that was skimped on. You just did the minimum that was required by the permit. Is just going to set the stage for hostility between tenants. My biggest pet peeve is someone who does a 3-unit conversion and insists upon keeping a forced-air system in the home. Just get them separate heating systems and cooling systems. They've invented heat pumps. Give it a shot. Things like that, when they are resistant to put that money in at the outset, looking at the numbers. Of course, things always go over budget. Things always take longer. I always blame the City of Toronto for that. Financing was always not as good as you wanted, but anything you can do to try and separate, keep tenants from smelling each other, keep tenants from hearing each other, keep tenants from having different temperature, or allow them to have different temperatures from each other, just maintains the peace that translates into better returns down the line. Because in all your pro formas, most of you don't even probably have legal costs as 5% or vacancy loss. What about re-renting your tenant, re-renting a unit all the time and paying 1 month's rent to a salesperson? What about gaps between tenancies? What about having to pay off a tenant because of issues down the line? So anything that you can do that to put the money in initially so that there's just fewer conflict points, just result in smoother management, lower costs, but also your emotional sanity. I don't know how I've only recently started going gray. It should have happened 15 years ago. But I can tell you that if you can do anything at the outset of the process, even if you have to borrow a little bit of extra money, it makes a difference in ensuring that you're happier down the line. And speaking from my perspective as an owner of these things and also the clients we serve, they're almost always getting these things as retirement assets. They're not property scalpers. They are intent on owning this thing as an alternative or supplement to their pension plan. I love those clients because they care about the building, they care about the tenants, they care about the downstream consequences. And down the line, you want to have something smooth all the way through. If you're trying to, I don't know, your retirement's like mine, sail around the world for 6 months out of the year, you don't want to be called about your property all the time. You just want it to perform. And I think this is one of the few businesses where both the client, the tenant, the landlord, the tenant, and the manager can all actually do well from the interaction. And that stage is set very early on in the process. So spend the money when you have to on things that matter, and it plays out good for you in the end.